Hi Robuxio traders, welcome to our new market update. This time we'll make it a little bit differently. We will discuss a few different topics. Of course, we'll look at current market conditions, but then we are having quite a few questions that I would like to answer. Okay, so first of all, let's start with current situation, current conditions we are trading in. Basically, from the start of the year, we are getting into some range bound market a bit. You can see that from the start of the year, we made quite a huge dip on the total three market index, which you already know what it is. These are crypto coins excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDT. And you can see that here we have made some dip about 20%, 25%. Then we went up and then again somehow down. What I wanted to show you that way is when we are getting into losses and when we are making profits, because especially for those of you who are more into investing than trading, this is very different, because in trading we are making most of our profits when we are in some clear market phase. What it means that we are making profits if we are in a trend, long trend or short trend, or we are making some profits if we are in sideways market with some higher volatility. But we are not making money. In fact, we are losing money if there is some market change. What does it mean? It means such a period where we are getting from, for example, trending to long side to the trending range, or from the long trend to the short trend. On these market regime changes, we are losing money and we are getting into drawdown. We are not getting into the burst drawdowns in some short trends, because we are having short trend strategies that are making money in these periods, but we are losing money and we are getting into drawdowns in those regime changes. And this is always the same. And this is what is quite different if you compare it to investing, because in investing, you are making money in long trends and you are losing money on every other regime. And this is really something you need to understand. What is also different is the volatility of your equity, of your account. And this is about what portfolio you are trading, because some of you started trading with us here or here. Let's say they started trading in a period when everything was growing and we were making nice profits. Now this is the time when the regime maybe changes. We don't know. In fact, we never know. That's why we are trading and not betting, and that's why we gave some of the profits back to the market. This is very normal and this is something that is always happening. But what is different is how much of the profit we are getting back to the market. For example, if you compare low risk and high risk portfolio, you can see that high risk was maximum in the profit of 70%, but low risk was on the maximum profit, let's say 40%. The difference here on the maximum profit was huge, 30% difference. But look at the lowest point so far, and you can see that basically the profit was almost the same, slightly under 30%. Right now, we are about 32, 33% on high risk, and let's say 28% on low risk. Really, the difference is very small here. And this is because of the portfolio volatility. Because if you want to make as much money as possible in our solution, you just have to go through bigger volatility. You just cannot avoid it. But maybe such a huge volatility is not for you. You really have to think about it, because like drawdown 25% on the high risk portfolio is still nothing. We can get lower without any problem, 40%, 45%. We just never know in advance. But look at the difference again on the drawdown between the two portfolios, low risk versus high risk. You can see that low risk is basically on the drawdown 10%, which in crypto is nothing. But high risk is more than 20% down. Really, the difference here is huge. And you can see it even here, you can see it here, you can see it here. This is what it is about. Yes, if the market is in our favor, we will make more money with high risk. But if it is not, if the strategies are not in sync with the market, we will lose some of the profits. And the more or the riskier the portfolio, the more of the profits you will give back to the market. So think about it. If you want to go from high risk to medium or low risk, you always can. You just write us at support@robuxio.com and we will make everything for you. Just think about it because it is really important. It is also important from another reason, and it is that we are in drawdowns most of the time. In fact, the periods when we are making new all-time highs are pretty short. You can see that the trading is working that way, that we are making some money and then we are giving back some of the profits, and again we are making some money and we are giving back some of the profits. But in between, before we will get above the previous peak, we are getting into drawdown, and the more volatile the portfolio, the deeper the drawdown. And you really have to think about it. You really have to think about being in drawdown most of the time because it is normal. It is what trading is about, and you have to expect it, and you also have to be prepared for it. So really being in a drawdown, which means like waiting for new all-time highs on your equity, is something that is most of the time in trading. Then to other Q&As or to other questions that you had in the past 14 days. So first one is, why don't you use profit target or trailing stop loss? This is in fact one of those questions that are repeating quite often. So we will give you the link under the YouTube video where you can find previous market updates where I was talking about it quite deeply. Very quickly said, the statistics is just strongly against profit targets, against trailing stop loss, because crypto is volatile, because we never know if this move back is already the move when we should exit, or if the volatility will just continue this way. That's why we are trading a little bit differently, and we are not using trailing stops or profit targets, because we know that in crypto this is not the best way how to trade. In fact, this is not the best way on any other asset, even on stocks or even on commodities. Just amateurs like trailing stops or stops and profit targets because it seems simple. Why do you let profitable trades fall into loss? Yeah, this is my favorite one. In fact, we never know how individual trades will end up. We never know if we get to profit on the trade here, and then we'll get, let's say, back 50% to some drawdown on this trade. We never know if the market will continue or it will go even under our initial entry point. We just never know in advance. We are trading statistics here. We are trading based on research, and we are not guessing. Yes, if you can look on the trade or at the trade in the past, you will always see some trades that are super logic to exit on some profit target, or if we'll make some X% on the trade. But the truth is, again, this is very similar to the first question, that the best way is just let the trades open until something happens, some exit conditions. But the exit condition is not some X percentage per trade. Do you use leverage? Yes, we do. We wouldn't need to most of the time because based on the portfolio, you will trade like for between 30 to 50% of your account most of the time. But for example, about the market regime changes, as we were talking about a few minutes earlier, we can get into short trades. For example, here we are in some long trend and we are getting very quickly into some short trend period. And here we can still have open trades, open long trades, and we are also having or we are also getting into the short trades. And that's why in this period of regime changes, we can get to 120% exposure of your account on high risk, for example, or 105% exposure on the low risk portfolio. So still the exposure is pretty low, but we are using the leverage just to be sure that we can get to all of the positions. Another question is about our new updated portfolio that you will have in February and that we will talk about much deeper in following market update. And it is about adding strategies. You will add 6 more strategies. Is there a maximum number of strategies you plan to implement? No, there is no maximum number of strategies because we are still working on it. We think that we are having very good solution. In fact, we think that we are having the best solution on the market, but it doesn't mean that we stop here. We are having service, software as service. We are paying for service, and that's why we are still working on it. If we will find some new uncorrelated or low correlated strategies, that we will know that they will add something to the overall portfolio, then we will add those strategies. If not, then we will stick with those 15 strategies. Maybe even we'll find out that some of the strategies that will be added in the portfolio won't be working that way as we expected. So we can, for example, exclude them of the portfolio sometimes in the future. We never know. We are managing portfolio of many strategies, and thanks to it, we can really like working on the overall portfolio, not on the single strategies. So no maximum numbers. I think that we could get up to 20 strategies, but who knows? Who knows? Like right now, I'm not having any other good enough strategy that could be added to the portfolio, but we are still working on it. How many positions per day does Robuxio trade? This is good question, but it is quite hard to answer because it depends on the trendiness of the market and it depends on the volatility of the market, because the more the market is trending and the more the market is volatile, the more strategies and will be trading and the more positions we will open. So that's why it is hard to say. You can be anywhere between 0 and up to 30 positions open per day. So somewhere between these thresholds. Do you trade only on the close of the daily candle or also during the day? Good question. We are trading on the daily charts. We are trading from the daily bars, and it means that we are making decisions on the daily data. So we are working that way. The software is working that way that on every close of the daily candle, we are making all the calculations, and based on all the strategies, we are putting new orders to the market. The orders can be market orders, stop orders, or limit orders. And of course, we are closing our open positions if the strategies want it. So most of the trades or some of the trades will be open on the daily close. Some of them will be opened on stop orders or limit orders during the following day. So hard to say. We prefer being diversified even during the following day. So that's why we are having more approaches how we enter into trades. Okay, that's all to today's presentation or update. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. I really want to answer any question because I know that it is very important to understand what you are trading and what the service is about. Have a great day and see you in 14 days. Bye.